You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming. It's something about on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, Shuichi's Path. Anyway, y'all, I wanted to let y'all know that it is officially my 35th birthday. That's right, Drakewing Gaming is 35 now. Yay, getting older. But I feel great. I have a wonderful, loving wife. I'm very happy. Still have my parents. You know, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm in a good place. I got a job that I really care about and enjoy. Some nice prospects on the horizon. You know, I'm making the most out of my life. And I love bringing entertainment to you guys and making y'all smile and laugh whenever I can. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? Alright, that is June. Let's go to Shuichi. It was October 3rd. Okay, there we go. Alright. The match is about to start. The mood today is totally unlike yesterday's. We can't bring ourselves to play and joke around like we did then. This is it. Minami versus Shirotech. Shuichi has never been able to beat Shirotech before. They're basically his arch rivals. And the fact that they're a team similar to his only stings him further. They're both teams that forsake individual strength in favor of unity. Shuichi is, without a doubt, the best individual player in that court. But even that doesn't mean anything. You can't play by yourself in volleyball. That also means you can't win or lose by yourself either. You think they can do it this time? I really hope so. Shuichi was really excited that Wolf was going to be playing this time. Maybe the guy will make a difference after all. He certainly had a lot of praise to give him, even if all that praise was blanketed under annoyance over Haruki's personality. Ugh, they haven't even started yet and my chest already hurts. That's because we know how much is riding on this. If Harada loses here, that is the end of his high school volleyball career. Shuichi, please win. Every one of us is feeling on edge right now. Even I am. My chest feels so incredibly tight. Shuichi might act like he doesn't care about volleyball all that much, but I don't want to imagine how he might be if he lost today, on what's supposed to be his last chance. God, if you exist, please help Shuichi. They're starting! Just like Saya says, the players have finished their warm-up routines, and the captains are now flipping a coin to decide who will serve first. Last year, Shirotech had 2 players who could do jump serves. You think they've gotten any better at that this time around? Wasn't one of the players a senior? That would mean he's graduated by now, right? Then there should only be one left. Yeah, but that was months ago. Other players could have learned how to do it by then. Plus, you always have to account for any arriving freshmen. According to the brochure, they only have 1 freshman as a regular. Which one is it? Number 15, that really tall middle blocker. Yikes, that guy's built like a truck. He's almost as tall as Shuichi, too. Other than that, their team is built mostly of juniors and seniors. Our school doesn't have any freshmen in the starting players. Yeah. The other team won the coin toss. Their captain is the first one to serve. He gets in position for a jump serve. I remember that guy from last year. His serves were a real pain in the ass then, too. Tea time. And if y'all hear any background noise, just pardon that. My girl's watching anime in the living room. Yeah, I recognize that, dear. He was the only one in Shirotech that could match Shuichi's serves. But then again, considering how much of an upgrade Shuichi has gone through, I really don't think this guy could keep up in that area. He tosses the ball into the air and jumps after it. Huh? The hit ball goes much slower than expected, swerving erratically in the air. I faintly hear one of the players barking an order and jumping after the ball. He attempts to get the ball with an underhand receive, but it swerves at the last second and hits him in the forearm instead, bouncing out of the court. What? I can do a jump float now? It's so annoying! Shuichi gives the player that missed the ball a pat on the back. Play resumes with the deer once again tossing the ball into the air. Will it be a floater again? This time the ball is hit with tons of momentum, making a loud sound that echoes through the court. It flies like a bullet towards the other side. At least one good thing could be said of Shuichi's ridiculous training routines. He's practiced with jump serves so many times against his teammates that they've grown used to fastballs. In an instant, a player dashes towards the ball, making clean contact with it and sending the ball to the setter position. Nice! Shuichi jumps to make faster contact with that ball. His form is so clean that I can't tell at all where he's going to send it. He tosses the ball behind him, to the spiker directly next to him. The spiked ball collides against the tip of the opposing blocker's fingers. It flies into the opponent's court. Because of the decrease in momentum, they are able to receive it clearly, continuing the rally. Their setter isn't as impressive as Shuichi. His tosses aren't as accurate, and I think he either doesn't like to or doesn't know how to do jump tosses consistently. He definitely doesn't call as much attention as Shuichi does. Both teams continue to connect the ball and keep the rally going. So far, it seems they're neck and neck. Shuichi organizes better attacks, so our team's offensive power is higher, but Shirotech has better blockers and are capable of keeping us from scoring the point. Right from the start of the match, the game is close. The ball is received cleanly and sent right for Shuichi. So far, he's been doing a good job of distributing the ball. Back attacks, quick attacks. He used every single one of his spikers at one point or another and made a good job of giving them good passes. And to our surprise, instead of tossing the ball, Shuichi's hands beat it just above the net and he lightly pushes it into the other team's side. Caught by surprise, the ball falls behind the blockers and their defenders cannot save it. Wow, Shuichi isn't usually the type to do dump attacks. After the loss last year, he said something about increasing his offensive skill set. I guess this is what he meant by that. Because the serve that blows your arms off clearly wasn't enough, right? Haruki-san hasn't really done much so far. Oh yeah, that's true. Shuichi hasn't tossed him much yet, even though the guy's at the net. Shuichi isn't the kind that trusts in his instincts. He tends to avoid making plays that he hasn't practiced tons of times before. He's probably avoiding Haruki since he doesn't have much experience with him. Just then, a ball is tossed to Haruki and the Wolf leaps, spiking at an insane inner angle to allow the ball to fly right past the blockers. Whoa! What a crazy spike! Either that was a fluke or that guy really is crazy good. Right now, I think it's both. The match continues at a high pace for the whole time. Drink my tea. Delicious tea. Even though last year our team got almost completely shafted, this time they're managing to hold on much better. A lot of it comes down to our offense. With our team constantly hammering away at them, it takes everything they've got just to hold on. They're having a hard time mounting an offensive because of it. Still, the score is incredibly close. Shirotech is leading by 18 to 16. Man, our team is doing well, but they can't seem to pull ahead. Shirotech's well known for having one of the best defenses in the country, with strong receivers and blockers. Getting past that is no easy feat. But that makes the match drag on forever. It's so annoying to watch. How do they even have the stamina to play a full match like that? Just because they specialize in defense doesn't mean they don't have good offense. My guess is that they always aim to end matches quickly by shutting out the other team's spikers. Since they're not being able to do that here, all they can do is get a lot of one-touches and receives. The match ends up dragging because of it. So you're saying they aren't the ones making the match drag? We are. Pretty much. They want to shut us out and score points with their blocks. It's because we're not letting them that the match is dragging. Our team's offense is good enough to avoid the wall shutout, but not good enough to consistently score points on top of it. Sounds like a headache. Even Shuichi's serve that was scoring tons of points just yesterday is getting received consistently without many issues this time around. Shirotech might lack really strong players, but their foundation is really strong. They're not the kind of team that relies on a single player, which also means they're not the kind of team that you can shut down just by putting the pressure on one person. Our team also tries to be that, but because of the huge disparity between Shuichi's skill and that of the others, they could never really achieve that. When you think about it, Shirotech is a team with lots of strong players that are all balanced among each other. No one stands out. But our team is naturally incredibly unbalanced, and with Haruki in this match, the balance tips over even further. Once the other team has clear targets to focus on, it becomes much easier for them to shut them out. They've been trying to make Shuichi get a lot of the first touches. If Shuichi can't toss them, our team loses most of its attack potential. That's really annoying. Aki clutches his fist around his arm, quivering. I can see how frustrated he is watching the match. The score is really close. The match really looks even. But despite that, I feel like they're slowly being strangled. Their blockers are zoning onto Haruki faster and faster. A lot of the early points in our team come from his spikes, but now they're getting lots of one-touches. Eventually, I feel like they're going to start shutting him off completely, and then he'll be out of options. The amount of pressure on those two must feel tremendous right now. Hang in there. A blockout! Shuichi made a feint, pretending to toss the ball to Haruki before sending a quick toss to the backline spiker. The ball hit the tip of the blocker's fingers as they were falling to the ground and flew out of the court. 20-21. Whoever takes this first set will define the pace of the match. Losing the first set here would be a huge blow to their morale, especially considering the fact that at the pace this match is going, having to play all 5 sets would probably exhaust them. This is one thing I never understood about volleyball. How can they jump around so much? Just watching them do it over and over, I already feel like my legs are on fire. That's interesting. Shuichi's using Haruki-san more and more. You think he's getting used to it? I think it's something like that. Different spikers have different preferences on how they want their tosses and on the timing of their attacks. Shuichi's the type to always watch his team, so maybe he's figuring things out as he goes. Although, it can feel kind of creepy to be playing with someone that pays so much attention to you. I have Harushihara as my practice partner. I can 100% confirm that. Hey, that was uncalled for. Sorry. Wow, Haruki-san is doing really well. Yeah, he is. I was afraid he'd crumble once they started putting pressure on him, but he's dealing with it just fine. My only concern is that he doesn't mingle with the team at all during timeouts. He just sits at a corner sipping on water. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Let's just be happy that he's not starting any fights. He looks super pissed off, though. I talked to him for a bit before the match. It looks like his brother is here to watch him today, so he said he's going to be on his best behavior. Wait, when did you talk to him? Aki shrugs. When you guys were talking to Shuichi-san outside their locker room, I saw Haruki-san going inside and talk to him for a bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I just thought that I could remind him again about how excited I am for this match and how I hope he'll be able to work well with his team. Aki imitates a high, squeaky, super excited voice. You two scare me with how few qualms you have about manipulating people. It's nothing much. Creepy. Just then, Haruki spiked another ball. Every time he does so, the sound that echoes through the court is deafeningly loud. But for the first time in the match, he gets completely blocked. Our team's libero tries to save the ball, but it smashes against the floor. 25-23. Damn! They took the first set. And by blocking Haruki-san too. I hope he handles it well. He, in fact, did not handle it well. Shit! Just as Aki was saying these words, Haruki runs up to a nearby chair and kicks it over, startling everyone. His teammates run up to try and calm him down, but he seems to prefer just sulking on a corner. That's not good. That guy has a really nasty temper, my god. No kidding. I guess hoping everything went smoothly was a bit too optimistic. Come on, man, keep that temper in check for just this match. I don't like how this match is going. I don't feel like Shirotech is just going to run away with it, but I'm afraid that if it drags too long, our team might lose their gas first. It's not just that. Extreme exhaustion takes a really big toll on a person's mental condition. Our team isn't nearly as united as theirs. I'm afraid they would start fraying. Can we please stop saying such pessimistic things? I don't want to be thinking about all this crap right now. Sorry. Haruki's spike flies towards the high blocking wall and is immediately sent back to the ground. Even though the team was able to drag the match into the fifth set, it's becoming more and more apparent they're struggling to keep up. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!